Namaste everyone. Thank you for attending today's session. So a while ago, a lot of people were asking me to, because I talk a lot of things about music in our classes, and sometimes my thought process is such that it just keeps going from one direction to another direction, and everything is not compiled properly. So I talk about different things. So people were asking me, why don't I do some sessions which we are talking about the history of music in general, or what is Indian music like. And we usually know, sometimes people don't even know what classical music is. They know popular music, our film music, etc., etc. So I started doing this series about decoding and appreciating nuances of Hindustani Sangeet. Our first part was comparing Indian music and the Western music, and also what are the key elements we have to pay attention to while singing as aspirants singers. Most of you are here because you like music, you like to sing, you like to perform, and things like that. So how we can improve? Even if you do classes, you don't do classes, doesn't matter. But there are little tiny changes you can make to your singing that can help you to become a better performer. Okay, so we are doing the part 2, and in part 2 I'm gonna be talking about genres of Hindustani Sangeet, Indian music in general. As I said, most of us know only film music or maybe ghazals or bhajans, etc., etc. But we can't really differentiate between what is the difference between each of these different genres. So we're going to talk a little bit. I know it's a lot to cover in 1 hour, so I'm going to be going a little fast, but please stop me if you have a question in between, okay? I'll try to answer, and after the session, I will be here to answer any additional question you might have. Okay, so as I said, first part, we did Indian Western key elements of singing. Now we are at genres of Hindustani Sangeet, Indian music and classical as well as popular. Then next session I'm planning to do is how to appreciate listening to Indian classical music, because when you go and you say Indian classical music, oh, they just do like I don't know what to get out of it, right? What it is about. So I'm gonna talk about that, like how you listen to it, how do you appreciate it, and how do you incorporate it in your life, because it's very meditative music for me and for many of us who've been exposed to it. Then other fourth part I'm thinking of doing is because I know a teacher in India, Mridula ji. She's a therapist. She do music therapies. So I might ask her to do a Zoom session with us here, talking about how the music help cure certain things, because she goes to a lot of hospitals in Mumbai and help people getting better in many ways. Then other request was to how do we recognize rag, how do we recognize tune, and what we're singing, like how do I know what notes are that, so I can do a little better while I'm performing. And if people are interested, I can talk about Indian music history, because that goes back to our Vedic period. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about that today too, but there's a lot of details to it. So that's where we are, and this is about Sabrang. What is Sabrang? That is our music school here. So I need to change my picture and with my new look now. So Sabrang is actually pen name of Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan. That picture over there, he's the founder of Patiala Gharana. Sabrang means all colors. So I just rhyme with that name a lot because I like different colors in my music. So I kept my school name as a Sabrang without even thinking. I just took it, and so I started this school many years ago, and it has grown since with recommendation from each one of you here. I don't advertise anywhere or anything. I'm electrical engineer by profession, and I've been learning from Pandit Vinay Bhede ji and who's from Patiala Gharana, and Pandit Ram Shankar ji, who sings with who is trained under Ram Rang Parampara of Pandit Ramashriya Jha. And now I'm also taking some guidance from Ridula ji for Gandharv exam, and also trained with Pandit Shantanu Bhattacharya ji for Patiala Gaiki style. And a little bit about Anhat here, this beautiful studio that we have. This is really a nice setup here for many things. This is a marketing slide, okay? So we have a lot of other teachers teaching here. Carnatic teacher, Bharatanatyam Anjali teaches here Kathak, and Odissi teacher, and then we have, as you can see, we have good enough capacity for small gathering, like up to 50 people, and we have chairs, tables, all sound set up and very nice. And we had a yoga session today, meditation session with Nishant and his group as well. So a lot of things, and Lego and whatnot. We have been having a lot of good, classes over here. Okay. So now we're gonna go. I don't know who was here in my last session. Anyone? A few were here. So we talked about key elements of Indian singing. What are the key elements? How do we all sing, right? We all are been singing since we are little, in the bathroom or wherever. Bhajans, we have kirtans in our house and whatnot. So we've been singing. But what are the key elements? How it differs from Western, Indian, what is Chinese music? They all sound a little different, right? But so I'm just gonna go a very little small revision in here for the new ones here. So Indian music mostly goes by, we define a scale or a pitch, okay? We go from, for example, if you see a piano, we have a lot of keys on it, right? So we pick one key as a sa, and our scale starts from there, okay? And then how do we define what key to pick? The key to pick is where we can expand our vocal range. Like I can go up to at least like 2.5 octave, like from lower to high. So that's how we evaluate ourselves, okay? Because our music is all about expanding. Okay, it's just not limited to middle scale or lower scale or higher scale. We just go across the spectrum, okay? A wide range there. So I will give you an example, a quick example, because I like to engage people. So I'm putting a tanpura here on A sharp, which is, if you look at the piano, we have 2, 3 black keys, okay? Like that, it goes like that. So the third 2 and 3, the third key is the A sharp key. So my scale starts from there. So sa, you can sing with me, sa. Because A sharp is usually a female swara. Because their voice is pitchy, so we start them on the lower scale. And then male voices are heavy, so we go a little higher from C sharp or C or D usually. In that area, in that range, okay? So I'm using A sharp here because we have mixed crowd here, and sometimes woman's voice doesn't go very high. So we start from A, sa, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, re, ga, ma, ma, ga, re, sa. So see, you can go smoothly here. Right? Most of the female. For male, it might be too low. You're probably struggling for breath, right? So that means we have to go a little high. Okay, but for female, it's a very comfortable range, okay? So if sometimes female voice is a little heavier, they go from even lower scale, from G sharp or G or so on. Okay, so sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, ni, sa. Okay, so this is our first self-evaluation, that no effort put, my voice can just flow from one point to another point. Then we have to, as I said, we need to expand our scale, okay? So we need to go lower and then higher. so that we have wide range of notes that we can explore. Okay, so sa ni dha pa, sa ni dha pa, pa dha ni sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa re ga ma da re sa ni dha pa ma da re sa ni dha pa. So if you can sing comfortably in this area, it means A sharp is your swar. Okay, so lower pancham to upper madhyam, that is basically most of the people sing in that area. Okay, but if you're struggling here, if you're having hard time going up here, then lower one key down, A sharp to A to G sharp and etc like that. So self-evaluate yourself, okay, and see. And by the way, most important thing for our singing is we need a reference. Okay, whether you put a key on the harmonium or piano or something, you take that as a reference, or you have a tanpura. The real tanpura is inside here. If somebody interested, they can see it later. But nowadays we have apps. Easy, just press the button and it starts, right? No tuning needed. So then you start a reference point, okay? So then you go from there up and down and see how wide your range is. For male voices, we go little higher. I'm gonna go this. So sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa re ga ma ga re sa ni da pa ma ga re sa ni da pa. So it goes a little high. For female voice, it is a little difficult. Okay. So I talked about the reference. So one reference is our pitch, our swar, where we start singing. All our ragas, what is rag? It's a melody basically, nothing else. It's just like a scale that we define. Sometimes from our scale, sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa, we take out some notes. Sometimes we add. Sometimes we go twisty turvy and whatnot. That becomes anything that has a melodic value in a scale becomes a rag, and we have given them different names, like how people have given my name, your name, and other names like that. Okay, very simple. So don't be scared of the rag. When you hear rag, oh no, I cannot do this. Don't be scared. It's nothing. It's just a different scales that we have. Then second reference we have is rhythm. Okay, so rhythm. If we don't have rhythm, if we don't have lay, what happens? Pralay. Okay, so we, like, if our heartbeat misses a beat, we have to go to hospital, right? So the music is the same way. We have to go in a very specific rhythm, and there are multiple different rhythmic patterns being designed to sing very different combinations. So why is that? Why is that? Because see how many notes we have, 7, and how many songs have you heard till now? Maybe million. Western, Indian, and anything. How do they sound different?
Combinations of the songs and different tempos.
Tempos is one thing. Different rhythms, different rhythmic cycles, and different combination of swaras. So they sound different. Even if I have same one example I would give. कहीं ये वो तो नहीं, okay, कहीं ये वो तो नहीं चंदन सा बदन. So there's similar note spectrum, but I'm thinking of other same Nirega combination of. There are like 100 songs in Bollywood with the same starting. कहीं ये वो तो नहीं निगाहें मिलाने को. They all sound different, okay, because of the rhythmic, and also the words, of course, play an important role here. So 2 reference points that you have to keep in mind, that without that you cannot sing. Even if you start singing Bollywood karaoke or something, in that also you have to, sometimes you must have seen people singing karaoke, they are going here and there, like, it feels like weird, what is happening, right? But that is because the rhythm, rhythm is not there, and the scale that is, by the way, all the instruments those are playing in our music, like, in your track, they are tuned to the same A sharp, if I'm singing from A sharp, or like depending on who's singing, right? So C is most of the Hindi film songs, if sung by Lata ji and Muhammad Rafi Saab, they are always in C, like C or C sharp, maybe some. If it is with Asha ji, it goes to B, okay, because her voice is a little heavy. So all the instrument, tabla, violin, everything is tuned to that swar. That's why they sound like in equilibrium. Otherwise, they will sound off, very off, right? You must have heard like some song, especially R.D. Burman used to do that. He used to switch scales in between. Like he will go different, like it will sound, what is happening here? It changes the tone, something. I don't remember the example now, but that's how it happens. Everything needs to be tuned. Okay, so now main three aspects of Indian singing that we need to make friends with, okay? How many of you have heard about mean, gamak and khatka? I know, I'm not talking to the experts, the new ones. Okay, so what is mean? You see the glide? Glide. So this is glide, like from one swar. So Indian music, we don't leave any space between the notes, okay? We take, like, it's some like our culture. We have to go somewhere, we have to take 10 people with us. We don't like to go alone. I don't need my private time. I don't need my space. I need people around me, right? Like this is how our culture is. So same our music is, that's how the main difference between Western and here is, like we have all these spaces being explored in between the swaras. So mean, what is mean? One example I will give. Rasik balwan, ये कैसे जाता है ऐसे घूम के, like it goes like this round, like so ये जो है, this is mean. So I'm going from one swar, dragging it all the way till I reach the next swara. That is mean, glide. That is very important aspect of our singing. The gamak, what is gamak? Gamak is oscillation. If you guys are exposed to Carnatic music, you hear a lot of Dhrupad. We have an exponent of Dhrupad here, Mrs. Arundhati ji. Thank you for coming. This is not for you, by the way. This is, you already know all of that, but thank you for coming and gracing this lecture. Really appreciate that. Gamak also is used heavily in Dhrupad singing. So basically what it is, oscillation. It can be to the near note or the far note. So re 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 ga 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 ma 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 ma, so re 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 ga re ga re ga re ga. So basically going faster, pushing each other. That, and also if you try to sing it like this, it might not come to you. You have to practice it. You have to practice it continuously to get that depth in your voice, right? The deepness, and the breathing is very heavy. Khatka. Khatka is a third important aspect in our singing. You will hear a lot of our popular songs. They are all filled with khatkas, because that is also very important in when we go to the different genre like thumri and other things. Khatka is, what is it? It's knocking, basically, going from one note to sa, sri sa, re re, ah. Without stanpura, I feel lost, but so sa, gre, maga, pama, dapa, nida, sini, risa, nisa, dani, pada, mapa, dhama, rega, re, nisa. So one song that you think, popular song. Okay, it will not come to me now, but anyways, if it comes, I will explain. So basically, we use these little tiny bells, like, anklet, you can say, like tan, 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 like, ringing a bell in our music. Because without this, our singing sounds very boring. So one example, I say, like, when we start learning very popular bandish of Yaman, right? Little child is learning. I don't teach these subjects to children, but I will just sing. Eri Ali Piya Bin. They will sing like that, right? Eri Ali Piya Bin. Then when you're expert in singing, how will you sing? Eri Ali Piya Bin. Sakhi Ali Piya Bin. So these are the little things being integrated into your voice. Okay, so these three things, please remember them. Okay, so what you can do at home, just do simple exercise. You go from sa re sa re sa ga sa ma dragging my sa, I'm holding his tail until I reach upper sa. Okay, so sa sa. So this is, it goes like this, like all three-dimensional. Okay, that's why this song sounds so beautiful. It gives you goosebumps even if you listen to it now. I don't know how many of you are here old film song fan. I am. Like all these songs we grew up with. Okay, now that was, oh sorry, let me just go give another example of gamak. How do we practice gamak? Just take two notes. Sari 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 sari. Just इसको practice करते रहो. It will flex your vocal muscles. Okay, so just don't go anywhere else. Do open your jaws bigger. Okay, and no force. Relax. As you yawn. Keep doing it. Okay, it dwells the gamak in you. Then we do different gamakas, like in our city. Now what is khatka? Khatka ke liye, so now we did sare. You do now sare sa. So first pressure on sa, then break, then come back to second pressure on another sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, sa. So this is how we practice these very simple things. We go and discuss like multiple, this and that, and this alankar and that. There's no need. If you practice these three simple things, you will be able to sing your songs very beautifully. Okay? What we need to do is, how we go to gym, exercise to make some muscles here. So we need to build muscles here for singing. So as we flex them more, it gives us strength. Okay? So this is what we covered in detail in our first lecture.
Can
So
I take a picture of this?
sorry?
Can I take a picture of it?
Yeah, sure. Please.
I do have a question.
Yes.
It may be relevant, but where does harkat fit into it? I have heard that.
Harkat, okay. Harkat is a high.
Combination.
Let me, please. Okay. So let me answer when the question is asked, please. Harkat is basically multiple of one thing. Okay. It is very fast. Okay. Very, very fast. I'll give you some example. I'll show you what harkat is. Harkat is, if you look at big picture, they kind of balance out with each other. With each other's combination, harkat comes very fast, multiple notes together. So you will hear murki, harkat, zamzama, and this and that. So hundred of variations of that. So it all depends what you're singing. In that you use harkat. So khatka is a type of harkat. Okay, it's a short one. Okay, then we have like multiple, like in Thumris we do bigger harkats, like faster and bigger harkats.
So they're all kind of from there, right?
Khatka, but basic of that is khatka.
Sir, Taan and Harkat comes together.
No, Tan is basically okay. What is Tan? Tan is singing notes faster than your lay of Ta. For example, if we're playing dha, then da, right? Dha, then da. This is my speed. So I have to sing at least 2 notes per beat. So sa re re ga ga ma ma pa. So if I go dugun of my lay, that is Tan. Okay, minimum requirement is 2 gun, but of course 2 gun people sing like 8 gun, 16 gun, ye wo gun, jo bhi jo. That's what's make Bhimsen Joshi or Kishori Amonkar. That's why they show off. They're like, okay, I'm this person. I can sing that fast. So the tans are basically is longer one. You go full avartan, half avartan, or quarter avartan and things like that. Harkat is very small. Harkat is tiny. You just harkat karo aur bhago aage. Bas. That's
So
it.
we heard that song, na? अच्छा जी मैं हारी.
हाँ.
People would say उसमें हरकत है.
हाँ.
But I just didn't know the.
हाँ, तो उसमें खटके हैं बहुत सारे. I don't know if I will be able to sing, but I'll try. अच्छा जी मैं हरी 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 चलो मान जाओ ना. ये हरकतें हैं. वो खटके जो है मारते हैं वो बीच में. So that is those are हरकत. कहीं आपको जग बड़ी लगेगी, कहीं पे छोटी लगेगी. Okay, I need to, because I have a lot to cover, so I will move on. Then we can talk later on about that. So now we're going to talk about genres. Okay, as I said, we know very in classical music, and then we have like for film music, and we don't know anything beyond that. But our music history is so vast. We have so many things. I'm not even putting here like 50%, I would say. There are like multi-layers to it. Okay, but I'm covering big parts of it, which we hear commonly, we see commonly. Okay, so I will go North Indian, South Indian music. Basically, tradition has come from our Vedic period, long time ago. So our tradition goes back to Samved time. Okay, they used to sing hymns, or they used to chant in that time. So that was called Margi Sangeet. Margi Sangeet means you sing only to attain moksha. Okay, so it's not for common people. It's for some people who just you take sannyas or sadhu banja. So there was like people who were just praying and chanting continuously, like Vedic chanting and all that. So that was Margi Sangeet. But that was not a performance art. Okay, so our performing, I'm covering from performing art. It goes back to 1100 BC or maybe before that. So Dhrupad is our most oldest form of performing art. Okay, Dhrupad and Dhamar. And I put Carnatic in the same category because they kind of were in the same time area. Because they started together, and South India is more Carnatic style, and North India was more of Dhrupad and Dhamar style. Okay, and remember these terms. Then Khayal is evolved. It came. Dhrupad kind of changed its direction into different direction, and Khayal came into picture when we had influence of the outside forces into India. It changed a lot. Okay, so Khayal came into picture. Then Thumri. Thumri was originally for dance. Okay, for Kathak. Then we have folk traditions from goes long, maybe before even the Vedic period. Who knows? But we don't have that. Then we have devotional. Then we have popular form. We're going to talk about all these forms a little bit. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. I put, as I said, Dhrupad and Dhamar and Carnatic into same category because because they were around the same time, and also I think the subject is kind of similar in both ways. So I know I'm speaking in front of you, but please chime in if you have any thing to do. So it is the oldest tradition of performing art. Before this, after Samgayan, it was called Samgayan from Samved, we had Prabandhagayan. Prabandhagayan was basically Prabandh, if I hear it, Prabandh means arrangement. So it was probably a lot of instruments and vocal and together or something like that. I have not studied a lot on that subject, but maybe I will and I'll figure out what that was. But then Drupad Dhamar started from our temples, traditions. And because it started in temple traditions, so most of our text was devotional in that, okay? So it kind of goes similar. If you go to Carnatic music, everything is devotional. You won't see Piya ki Nazariya or something like that kind of words in that, okay? So, and also what it is it's stuck to purity of a swar, pinpointed swaras, and like, you know, a lot of gamakas and mean, a lot of ornamentation in between, and then a lot of playful techniques with the tal. And again, the instrument that played with Drupad Dhamar is called pakhavaj. That is considered our oldest percussion instrument. After duff, the pakhavaj came into picture, and you see Ganesha playing pakhavaj, and we have a lot of reference that Ganesha is playing pakhavaj and Shiva and Parvati are dancing and things like that and whatnot. In south we goes another form of pakhavaj. It's a small, it's like a mridang, it's called mridanga. So it is it has a different sound because the size is a little small. Pakhavaj has a lot of resonance, and mridang is also resonant, but it's pitchy resonance. It's a very different instrument. So there is a room for improvisation, but they were very strict on rules. Okay, don't do this, don't do this, that, don't do that. So same goes for Carnatic. They have written everything. You just have to sing the same thing repeatedly. You cannot have any improvisation. Nowadays, a lot of people are doing improvisations, but that was not the tradition. So mostly devotional text. But now, when it went to the king's court, they started singing in praise of kings. Maharaj, tum ho, ye sab, like, you know. Then also Ritu Varnan. Lot of Ritu, we have like Basant and all that, you know, Bahar and all those things. Also with the Holi, Dhamar is all about Holi. It's all about Holi. It's like all lyrics you will find is Holi in Dhamar. Dhamar is also a tal form, and also it's a genre in Drupad Dhamar. So I'm going to play some examples here for you, and just to get a taste of it, okay? So this is Gunde Javan. So I have chosen Bhopali Rag, which is pentatonic, is called Sare Gapa Dhasa Sadha Pagare. You see how the beat is going? You start very slow and then alap is very long, like it goes on for hours. See, me, it goes and open akar, and they use ta na nom. It comes from Om Ananta Hari Narayan. So na na ri ra na ta na nom Ananta Hari Narayana. From that it has originated. Anything on that? Yes, yeah. See, now it goes fast. After slow alap, they go dugun. Now it will go even faster. And then going one from other note to another note, and like just creating a beautiful web there. So now after that it goes to Band, then the Pakhavaj comes into picture. So this is Pakhavas you hear. Then it goes on, then after that they go Dugun, Tigun, Chogun with the tar. Okay, that's how it goes, and it keeps going for hours. Same. So what is pentatonic scale? Sa re ga pa dha sa dha pa ga re sa. We call it Rag Bhopali. Okay, so this is what they're singing, and it's all just going from one stir to another stir. So now you see there's subtle similarities between Carnatic and Drupad here. So they also use the same that ni la ra ra na. So but now gamakam e na. So all those shaking of voice, a lot of shaking of voice. Everybody knows Subbalakshmi, but every time I hear her voice, it gives me something happens to me. A lot of shaking, a lot of gama comes up. So what we sare we did, that is it is Mridangam. It's a little different sound than Pakhavat. The tar system is also different. So, just this little example. Any question on these forms?
That was Drupad?
This is Carnatic. See, this was Drupad. Drupad is like very slow. It goes on for an hour alap with dugun and even faster speeds and so on and so on. The exploration, 5 notes. Just imagine singing 5 notes for 1 hour. How much capacity and imagination you need? Just no tal. That starts after 1 hour of alap with tal. Okay, so just imagination and so this, you know, the veena, right? Veena. We old days they used to call bean. So it's like uski tantakari ri ra na na. So this creates like a different atmosphere. That's why that Om Ananta Hari Narayan using different syllables in singing just kept people not yawning. You know, otherwise if I keep singing a car like khayal all the time in this 1 hour alap, people will get, oh, please move on, right? So this one is like they create such an atmosphere, and sometimes like it's just, you know, I have heard stories that the singing people and the glass pot is there, and like the Tansen used to do that, glass pots will break. Of course, you have heard the lights will, the diya will glow and the rain will fall and whatnot. So very powerful music, okay? So we go to next now. That's where this is Khayal, where I'm going to talk
Sir,
about.
I was doing Riyaz this morning and it started raining.
Okay. So as I said, when Mughals came to India, so our music started changing a little bit. Now, because Mughals were not allowed in temples, and like, you know, these kings or these nababs or these sultans started endorsing some musicians, and they sang Drupad there. Like Akbar was one of the, Akbar had these 9 Ratan, where Tansen was one of them, like, you know, was singing Drupads all the time. But then, you know, slowly they started, Persian influence started coming. They said, you know, why don't we change it a little bit, make it more filled with emotions, or like, you know, have a different subject. Why always God or something like that, you know? So Khayal started coming into picture. It was starting in 13th, 14th century, but much later it got popular because Drupad had such a grip on their people's mind that they didn't accept any other form. So then when Adarang from Gwalior Gharana, Niyamat Khan, and I don't know what was the name of Adarang, but they made such beautiful khayals, and they started performing and people started loving it. So that's how it started. What is khayal means? Your imagination. So you're given a framework of swara, sa re ga pa dha sa dha pa ga re sa, and you have a rhythm to go with it. and now fill it up, sing it for 1 hour. Same way with most of the parts came from Drupal here as well, but the lay, the tal system changed a little bit, and we from Pakhavaj we put the tabla. Tabla was the percussion, and also in Drupal only tanpura were allowed. Now here we have harmonium was not in picture. That sarangi mostly was, I don't know what was in olden days. They even played anything, but sarangi probably came much later. Was played with it. You will hear the example that we're gonna listen. So it focuses on creative improvisation of rag and tal. So we do a lot of things. So every ghana has a different thought about khyal presentation, but commonly it is like you have to have 8 things in your gaiki to be able to present a khayal. So what are the 8? Bandish is one, tal is part of a bandish. Okay, then Purvang and Uttarang. Purvang is the lower part of the exploration. Uttarang is higher part of the exploration. Then we have a concept called Tiro Bhav and Abhir Bhav. So basically showing shades of another rag and coming right back into it. Then Lay and Layakari. Okay, so with Lay we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So going off and on beat. So all those different, it creates a very beautiful aura when they present. You will hear maybe some example here. And we start with very slow, and those no long alap. It's just like going right into it. You just say like, okay, here's my statement, and go into the khayal right away. Okay, and then slow, then we go to medium and very fast composition. So Tarana, Tapa, Chatarang, Trivat, Ashtapadi, Natagi kind of developed from khayal, this genre. Okay, so I'm gonna play one of my favorite piece of khayal, and it's say the swar. Open akar. There's no ta na na na. And everything. This is tam. And sarang is playing. Start tal immediately and go slow. It goes basically the one cycle is probably a minute long. Okay, it is so slow. Even Ustad Amir Khan used to sing like 2 minutes or 1 hour. He had like so slow. His khayal was extremely slow. But you show all the elements, all gamak, mead, khatkas. Now Abu. Pinpoint is a khatka. ये हरकत के साथ ऊपर like that. Now see, this avartan is not finished yet. So this is our reference. So जहाँ पे आज शुरू first beat से शुरू हुआ आज वहीं पे आना चाहिए. It's common in Drupal as well. Like we have to start with certain beat and come to certain beat. This is again Gopali. See how different they sound. Now listen to this. I cry every time she does this, okay? This is the time. See, I get this goosebumps. This million swaras in that little part of the beat. just what 2 hours and finished out of just imagine she will sing. Now she will start exploring swar by swar, open akar, like their gharana does open akar, like Gwalia Vidutta, they will use Drupadam. Now it goes fast, we are in somewhere in the middle now, so the speed increases a little. Now it's called Behlawa. So it's Behlana, like how we do the baby ko behlate hain aise aise. Now we are doing the same thing to the rag. We do Behlawa. Usko pacify karna, like we are trying to pacify the rag. It goes with the lay and tal. See how the tal is playing with it. Now tans. These are the tans now. Now we go to Teen Tal Badeshi. Now after this fast, and then that's how the khayal ends. So this Gopali goes on for 1 hour. क्या बात? Now fast you. Just imagine the training you need to do this. And this is the anti-high. Oh, that was khayal. Okay, any question on khayal? Of course. I mean, this is the khayal that has put me into this. This is what I heard in somebody's house in the evening. This was playing in the background. I was like, what is this? I was like so curious, and I went and bought the tape and listened to it on my Walkman for years. The same khayal. I don't know how many times. Okay, so that was khayal. Now we're gonna go to the next one. Thubri. Thubri is called semi-classical form, but it requires a lot more training than classical. For the bass is like you do need to have classical training to sing Thubri. Why it is called semi-classical? Because it gives us liberty to express us and mix notes. So we don't stick to the pure form of the rag here. We can do little here and we can go out of the rag. Okay? So Thumri, what is Thum? Thum means Thumakana, like dance. Ri means Rijhana. So Thumakke Rijhana. That you can guess now where it probably came from, right? There are kids here. So it came from a different place, which was not very well respected at the place. So then, just think Wajid Ali Shah of Lucknow. Actually, he is supposedly the pioneer in Thumri singing. Okay, because he said, okay, khayal is good, but I'm bored. I need a little bit more fun. Okay, so I need dance and things incorporated. Of course, it started with Madhyalay khayal, teen taal ki wordy khayal, जिसमें तुम्हारा dance के लिए beat मिलती थी, something like that. You started with that, but slowly it just kicked off, and all those singers, they were just like they were trained by ustads and who not, and they were so good that slowly people said, oh, why should we stay out of this? We should put it to the stage as well. Why this is not their music? We have to do that. But again, it is started with Kathak compositions, and slowly it got into our vocal genre. So you had a question about what is Thumri. Did you understand now? Thumri means it's sung with dance mainly, but now then later on it became another vocal form. Question on that? Okay, it focuses a lot on expressions. Okay, a lot of expression, and lyrics are sometimes different lyrics. Basically it was marketing for some people. They had to market themselves to get the money, and then it slowly became Radha Krishna and whatnot, right? So a lot of expression. And it is then later on evolved to slow, medium. We have Vilambit Lagi Thumri, we have Madhya Lagi Thumri, we have Bolwan Thumri, we have Dhanakshari Thumri, this Thumri and that Thumri and whatnot. So there's no end to it. It is like a very big genre, as like we have for Khayal or Drupal. Okay, then Hori, Kajri, Chaiti, Jhula, Dadra, they are kind of comes into this. You can see Hori means holy. It is mostly holy compositions. And then Kajri is when it's raining, like 2 days a day to sing Kajri. We are sad and rain is falling, then you are sad. Kajri is that. Chaiti is sung in Chaitra Mas, when after Ram Janam. It's like उसमें हमेशा हो रामा words आते हैं. So that is called Chaiti. Jhula is like you have a composition related to Krishna Jhula and things like that. And Dadra is also Tal, Dhadina, Dhatuna, but also it is very folky. It has like very folk feel to it. Its lyrics are very general. अरे मैं उसके घर गई थी, पता नहीं वहाँ क्या हुआ, ये हुआ, वो हुआ, मैं घर आई वापस तो मेरा दूध उबल गया. ऐसी lyrics होती हैं उसमें. Like it's very relatable lyrics. Okay. Now I'm gonna play you some compositions here. So I'll start. Vindadin Maharaj was in Wajid Ali Shah's court, right? He's composed so many beautiful compositions for Thumri, the Kathak ke liye. So you see, is here for dancer it's easy because they can express with their face, but when it goes to singing, and it's like about Krishna. So a lot of acting, so it comes like. See, so very short clip here. So you can see this voice also goes the same way. She's saying that she's telling Krishna, please don't tease, but as she's smiling at the same time. So what is going on in her head? So like there's so many expressions here, right? Then you must have heard this very popular old film song like Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan singing and Madhuwala is walking from Mughal Azam. This is Vilambit Legi Thumri. It's Jat Tal usually, 8 beats. See now, this is Harkat. This is Khatka. Yeah. So this is Khatka. So Thumri is full of these things. Okay. So now this was a Vilambit. Now there are two major schools. Well, there are many, but what the popular most forms are. One is Banaras Sangeet Thumri, which is more of bol banana. They talk, they speak. This bol banana means एक बोल को बार repeat by in a different उसमें feel लाके. The one is Punjab Ang Thumri, which is more of a murkis and tans are in that. Okay, so this is a Punjab Ang Thumri, and you will see lot of harkats in here and how the voice changes when you sing him. Here the khayal is very soft and how it goes. That's the harkat. Now see how he has little nasal and so these are harkats. So you're trying to convince me मुझसे रहा नहीं जा रहा है, बोलो कुछ तो बोलो, right? You know. So he is trying to express from his voice. So this is like this is so very unpredictable singing. That is Punjab style thumri. Okay, there's no predictability here. You can expect anything to happen. Now this is Vibhushi Shobha Gurtu ji, Banarasan. Now you see the lyrics as well, very Banaras style, you know. So there are 10 people sitting here, but everybody will think that she's singing for me. So that was their art, you know. What a rich voice. So very slow, like there's no rush. Now she'll say lage nahi kahin aur, lage nahi kahin aur, lage nahi kahin aur. So everybody thinks that somebody's singing for me. You know, that's how. Okay. So any question on Tumri? I need to move a little faster. I know it's already 7:30 almost. Okay, I'll answer. Now we go to folk. All of you, a lot of you know our folk tradition goes on. We sing for everything. Somebody born, sing. Somebody dies, we sing. Somebody, like, you know, we have music, everything. It goes with we have rituals, seasons, wedding songs, this song, that song, and lot of things. So I have picked few examples, and what it is simple, and you know, there's no like tam jam usually, okay, in these. We have like very simple, you know, Punjabi folk songs, they used to have chimta. You know what is chimta? The tong. They would tuck like, right? And then when the spoon came, they will play this, put the spoon on a piece of wood, tick, 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 tick. That's how the rhythm will come. But then the dholak came and all that. Very simple instruments, nothing. So first example I'm gonna play is, it has a very interesting story. Allah Jilai Bai. So she is from Rajasthan. When after partition, Rajasthan government wanted to promote people to come to Rajasthan. So they asked her so many of rags came from our folk music, like rag mand especially from Rajasthan, right? So this is the original song, by the way. Don't listen to today's Tam Jam song, okay? Listen to this on YouTube. You will love it, okay? So very, very, very nicely sung, and she... See the earthiness, no ding 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 ding, nothing. And Sarangi is playing Sarangi, or what is it? So this was marketing ki aao mere desh ghumne aao. Then she talks about different things, what you can find in Rajasthan. And language, very earthy language. Sita plays here. but then this Allah Jilai Bai, Padharo Mare Desh. Please listen to it, full song, okay? The next example I have is a Punjabi song. One of my Surinder Kaur, very simple. See the language, the Lehaja, and the way. See, you don't hear this kind of songs. I will sing like all. This is real Punjabi folk, okay? Then one is like here in somebody's house, Garba. They sing, so it was so nice. They're clapping and singing and dancing. There's nothing. And say sorry about my voice. I'm recording. So this is like so much fun. Like, you know, just simple thing. That is basically the folk music. Okay, very earthy music. Okay. So let's go to next one. So now we're gonna go to devotional part. Okay. So this has a very wide range. because every region of India has different way of expressing or praying or anything. I have picked some very major ones here. So the forms are bhajan, gurbani, kirtan, kawali, sufi kalam, and all those. It list is endless. I'm sure there is many more. Okay. So first example I'm going to play is bhajan by Pandit Jasraj. Of course, when Pandit Jasraj is singing, he's not gonna leave his khayal gaiki side. Okay, he's gonna sing very with tans and things like that. So usually bhajans are much more simple, like very folk. Sing. Okay, you see. But now the tal changes. It's very simple tal kahrwa. Now manjira enters, and mridangam is also playing. And if you sing in a group of people, okay. So now abhang, anyone from Maharashtra here, they know what abhang is. Abhang matlab is not bhang nahi karna usko. It continuously keep chanting vithala vithala vithala. It keeps going forever, like no ending to it. And one after another, one after another, and one after another. Very similar, like to our bhajan gaiki, but of course, lot of great saints have written beautiful lyrics, and mostly it is regarding Vitthal. And there's some about Krishna as well, maybe Krishna as well, but mostly about when she is chanting and with faster pace, and Bhim Senji, of course. So now they have to make a statement, I am the one who's singing, so I have to do that tal. Very powerful, like it just gives you that feel to it, right? Then Gurbani from Sikh religion, right, is very rooted in classical music. They sing all the Gurbani is written. Actually, Guru Nanak Dev himself wrote all the lyrics and also the music for it, most of it, and they're all in the rags. Okay, but the difference, they always sing with Tanpura, and they always have a sarangi, asraj, or dilruba nowadays they play. But at the same time, the tal goes either dadra or kehrba. So there's a little lighter shade to it. But you see, you will hear this is nothing less than a classical. And they sing in a group, so it creates that harmony kind of feel to it. See, they're playing tanpura. Very nice, like so nice, and it has such a good feel. If you go to Golden Temple in Amritsar, just sit there and listen to it for hours. You will feel something there. There's such powerful form of devotional music. Then we go to Sufi kalam. Now, Sufi it comes from when the Mughals came. So what happened when they saw, like how people were gathering in the temples and like chanting and doing bhajan. So Nizamuddin Aulia, who was he had the 9 disciples. He decided that we should create our own form so that we kind of match to, so people get attracted to our format. So they kind of created that. So Amir Khusro, but in there, one thing is lyric. We listen to the lyric. All have heard Chapati Lakach Sabchini Lere Mose Nana Milai. What do you think? You think like mera chap le liya, tilak le liya, sab kuch le liya, mere se nain mila. Like that's what we think, literal meaning, right? But this is basically saying that, I'm so devoted to you that I lost everything. I cannot think of anything. So you think that adhyatmic meaning to it. But of course, they wanted to make it more so that it appeals to their people, and also it appeals to the rhythms and the music to Indian people as well. So they get attracted to their form or representation. Okay, so you will hear one of the example here. Very hard to find. Sorry. Very hard to find authentic one nowadays. It's simple again, clapping, harmonium and tabla, so dholak. Just little tiny differences between each, the words or the feel to it and the rhythmic difference. And they do a lot of improvisation in between to create the mahal. Right? Okay, so this is devotional, and there is no end to this. It was so hard for me to choose what should I choose. But now we go to the end. Popular contemporary music. What is popular? We all know film songs. Then we have indie pop nowadays, independent artists, fusion, experimental music, and whatnot is available nowadays, right? So what it blends is classical, folk, western styles. So I have picked now again, because we are ending, this is the last slide, so I have picked Bhairavi here because we always end our Hindustani concert as a Bhairavi. So my favorite Bhairavi, now you see from film music is this. Very, very, very classical, but it's film music, right? But you can see the words change. It's very Hindi, and it's also like rhythms are different, and they have to dramatize it, right? So then lot of instrument playing, right? क्या बात है? तान कैसे गई घूम घूम के मुर्की. These are the murkis. So these are the हरकत like ऐसे घूम घूम के दो 10 खटका दो नौ की. Now, of course, dramatizing, right? So because she has to dance, and also like it goes like rhythmic, and the ghungroo is playing and all that. See, singing is like just absolutely divine. But also the lyrics are so beautiful of this song. Very beautiful composition. My favorite Bhairavi composition. Now this example, next one is by A.R. Rahman, who was like, I just liked him, but he has gone a little crazy nowadays. But he, like, his music was absolutely brilliant. From time that he came in, he mixed so many different forms, and you will hear now. So this song here, it has Hindustani, it has Carnatic, it has Western, it has folk, it has devotion, name it, everything is in one song. Okay, you know what is this probably. Bhairavi again. No, folk, the folk instrument, the tumba, whatever that is. No, what is that? You want now folk. And the rhythm changes to very, very South Indian, like Carnatic music, right? Now Western, now ding chick, ding chick, ding chick. Changes like those. Yeah, no, this is Western. Now it's very much. Now it goes to sort of Hindustan, South, like Hindustan, very flat. Now again folk tune and folk instrument playing now. So I'm going to play it a little longer because I want to now go to Western. This is Western style. kind of Western. Now goes to back to Indian, like the rhythm. Now goes to rhythm again. Now Tihai. Now it changes the rhythm. Such a mix. Now Sarangi. Such a brilliant composition. Very, very brilliant composition. Now Carnatic. See, Mataji like the very Carnatic here, right? Okay, that's it. So that was different genres of Indian music, and I hope you got something out of it. So now, how do we keep, like, from singing one from to another? You know, how do we change? This requires a little bit more advanced knowledge. But again, simple. For khayal, we use a very diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, पेट से बोलते हैं पेट से, but it's not really पेट से. But it's like very heavy breathing. So we put heaviness to our voice because tans and stuff that we have to take fast. We have to kind of give a push and pull and whatnot into that. When we go to Thumri, we lighten our voice like that. Like, because I'm telling you, please come here. I'm not going, please come here. Nobody's gonna come here, right? So you have to come like nicely say, okay, hello, namaste, come, please come sit down. If I say rudely, like, if I'm singing, Arey, aajao, baitho, yahan pe baitho, so people bhag jayenge, right? So this is like kind of a overall picture. That's how we do when we go to bhajans, or when we go to bhajans, you don't start doing alap and dance here, because what bhajan is more bhav pradhan. Like, you have to show the devotion in there. So there you have to focus on the lyrical aspect. कि कहाँ पे राम 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 के नाम ले रहे हो, कृष्ण का नाम ले रहे हो, किसका नाम ले रहे हो, जो भी है, like, you have to put a little bit more focus on that. Rather than just thinking ऐसे करना शुरू कर देंगे हम, तो कहते हैं अरे ये I'm not getting the feel of a bhajan, right? So all that part. So that's how we have to train our mind, that when we're singing this today, so I have to put like that. I have to sing, if I'm singing this today, that I have to change my voice to a little bit softer in nature, and put yourself into that mode, okay? Like, whatever, try to understand the lyrics, what the lyrics are saying. And when you do that, some things happen, some changes happen to you automatically. You will understand a lot of things. So any questions on overall this?
Very informative.
Oh, good, I'm glad. I'm sorry I had to rush because we kind of got 15 minutes over. But if you have any more questions, please let me know. And tomorrow we have solo performances all day from morning to evening, starting at 9. And I don't know when it's going to end. But please do come. We need audience, and of course, we can sing as much, but if we don't have people to appreciate, listen, then it's not fun. We also encourage the children and people who are learning. We all are trying. We are proud, trying to do our best, whatever we can. So this is how we learn. We encourage each other. Yes.
Is Damadam Masta Kalandar Sufi?
Qawwali Sufi. It's also written by Amir Khusro ji. Yes. Please have some tea, snacks before you go. I hope you got something out of it, and I do like to get some suggestions from each one of you. Please tell me what you would like to hear next time. What you want, what topic you want me to cover on anything. As I said, people who were not here earlier. No. There's so much to talk about these things, but let me just go there. There's no ending to it. So these are the topics that I'm doing. So we did Indian Western key elements of singing, and we today covered this. So listening and appreciating Indian classical music is my next topic. How do you appreciate when you're listening to a khayal? like what are the things that you have to look? How do you get the high? Where do you say wow? See, you hear many people say wow, kya baat hai? Why do they say that? Right, and all that stuff. But if somebody wants another topic, we can do that. Then, as I said, so anything related to what benefits it that gives us for classical, recognize how we recognize our art, and if anybody is interested, yes.
Can you do one of the series on Riyas maybe?
Yeah, of course. We did actually last time. Our first was covering the riyaz. How to. We did a little bit today as well. But I can repeat it. If you have more people interested, please bring them, and we can have a session.
Like the role of repetition in Riyaz. Why we repeat something for
So much.
n number of times?
Yes, exactly.
And this part 3 is good, sir. Like when we go to classical concert,
Mhm.
like I personally don't know what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah. This is a
very
very
good
most
session.
of us struggle with that.
जी.
Yes.
सर जो आपके साथ हम लर्न कर रहे हैं मल्टीपल जॉनर्स कवर कर रहे हैं क्योंकि अब इंडियन क्लासिकल जैसे आपने बताया इतने जॉनर है इतना बड़ा अम्ब्रेला है तो आपने हालांकि बताया बहुत बार लेकिन
हाँ.